In the dark woods of Hollowbrook, there was a tale whispered among the townsfolk about a fearsome witch who dwelled in a decrepit cottage hidden deep within the shadows. They called her the Harbinger of Despair, for her malevolent powers were said to bring doom to anyone who dared to cross her path. The legend told of a young woman named Isabella, who was filled with curiosity and a longing to explore the world beyond her small village. One moonlit night, unable to resist her adventurous spirit, Isabella decided to venture into the forbidden woods. The moon cast an eerie glow over the gnarled trees, but she pressed on, her heart pounding with excitement and fear. As Isabella ventured deeper into the woods, she felt an unsettling presence watching her every move. The air grew thick with tension, and the once melodious sounds of nature now seemed to be silenced. Her footsteps echoed like ominous drumbeats, signaling a foreboding encounter. Suddenly, a hunched figure emerged from the shadows, cloaked in tattered black robes with a pointed hat casting a dark shadow over her face. It was the dreaded witch. Her eyes glowed an eerie green, and her bony fingers clutched a twisted staff adorned with the bones of unfortunate souls. "Who dares to trespass in my domain?" the witch's voice echoed through the forest, sending shivers down Isabella's spine. Gulping down her fear, Isabella tried to explain herself. I meant no harm, ma'am. I was merely curious and lost my way." The witch cackled, a bone-chilling sound that seemed to reverberate through the very core of the forest. "Curiosity, you say? Curiosity leads to folly, and folly to despair." Terrified but determined to escape the witch's clutches, Isabella begged for mercy. "Please, spare me. I promise never to return here again." The witch's malevolent grin widened, and she muttered an incantation that sent a gust of icy wind swirling around Isabella. "Very well, little wanderer. I shall grant you one chance to leave this place, but heed my warning. If you ever set foot in these woods again, your fate will be sealed." Isabella stumbled backward, feeling the curse's weight pressing against her chest. She turned and fled, the chilling wind howling in her ears as she ran through the dark forest, her heart pounding like thunder. After that night, Isabella lived with the haunting memory of the witch and the curse she bore. No matter where she went, a shadow seemed to follow her, and misfortune seemed to lurk at every corner. Years passed, and Isabella grew older, but the witch's curse never relented. Eventually, her hair turned white as snow, and lines of worry etched deep into her face. She became known as the Old Woman of Misfortune, and the townspeople warned their children never to cross her path, for they believed she brought bad luck wherever she went. One fateful evening, as the sun set over Hollowbrook, Isabella found herself back at the edge of the dark woods where her nightmare began. Though she knew the consequences of returning, a desperate desire to end the curse pushed her forward. Braving her fears, Isabella made her way to the witch's cottage, now even more decrepit and foreboding than before. As she approached the doorstep, the wind picked up, and the air grew heavy with an otherworldly presence. The witch appeared before her, her green eyes glowing brighter and her cackle more sinister than ever. "I warned you, child. Now, the time has come to face your fate." Isabella trembled but stood her ground. "Please, release me from this curse. I've lived a life of sorrow and despair, and I beg for an end to this torment." The witch hesitated for a moment, her face betraying a flicker of emotion beneath the hardened exterior. "Very well," she hissed, "but there is a price to pay. I shall lift the curse, but you must take my place as the Harbinger of Despair." Isabella's heart sank, realizing the gravity of the witch's offer. But she had endured enough suffering and was willing to do whatever it took to finally be free. With a solemn nod, Isabella accepted the witch's deal. As the last rays of the setting sun disappeared behind the horizon, an otherworldly energy enveloped her, merging her fate with that of the witch. From that day forward, she would bear the burden of spreading despair, forever bound to the cursed woods and the cottage where the witch once resided. And so, the legend of the witch continued, but now it was not just one witch who haunted the woods of Hollowbrook, but two. Isabella, now known as the wretched witch, would forever be a reminder of the consequences of curiosity and the terrible price one must pay for seeking answers in forbidden places. And so, the dark woods of Hollowbrook remained shrouded in mystery and fear, a place where brave souls tread carefully, lest they too become entangled in the malevolent web of witches and curses.